Welcome back, guys. We have another one to go over today. We have 3 replays that we're going to go over. We're going to commentate them all, and then we will go into the deck profile and break it down and talk about the why, the how, everything like that. But without further ado, we're going to jump right on in. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Working on a March giveaway with a potential Patreon where 100% of the proceeds go towards giveaways on the channel. That would involve a small giveaway for anyone and also an exclusive giveaway for them. And I'm just working out the details because I don't just want it to be strictly giveaway. I want to figure out what I'm going to do for you guys to actually make it worth it in addition to that. So any ideas or suggestions, let me know down below. That may be an April project though by the time it rolls around. We will, like I said, have a giveaway up for you guys for March at some point. Don't forget, check out our Pirates video for the Jim Hawkins giveaway as well. Without further ado, Steel Song versus Tempo Control, or, well, it's not Steel Song, guys. It's Bodyguard Aggro. It is Amber Steel. We are going first. We open 2-stitch. I paused that. 2-stitch, Kida, Big Kida, Bodyguard Kida, and Robin Hood. So we got our Kida playline going first against Tempo. We know he's going to just like try to come after our board, bounce things. Mim Fox is a way he can get around our bodyguard, or I should say through our bodyguards rather effectively. We do hit Tinkerbell, Robin Hood, and Bare Necessities. Having a 1 and 2 drop Kida really helps with the 5-drop Kida because she essentially buys you an entire turn, and that is just crazy. Your opponent has a big board, you're questing very strong, and then you just basically make their whole board essentially not do any damage to you. Unless they play a character with Rush or have something like Fox, you are in a very good spot. We're going to go for our Robin Hood playline. Now we can get rid of the Kida, take out that Merfolk where we don't have to discard, and disrupt his tempo. They try to play these cards like Merfolk, like Flynn, to make you interact with them and lose your hand. Otherwise they start questing very strong and they dictate the tempo and the pace of the game. We have a lot of good removal cards which helps us counter that. One thing we do want to watch out for, and maybe we should have traded in more cards in the beginning, is the Ursulas. Unless this Ursula, it just so happens we have one of our 4 songs in the deck. We draw Stitch, and now we can go ahead and shift over our Robin Hood. It's the 3-drop Ursula being able to draw 4 off of friends of the other side that you really need to look out for. So here he does go ahead and come down with the Fox. Now we know the Ursula's in his hand. At least he loses the Fox. I'm not going to ink here because I actually like all my cards. And Kida's a shift 3. If I need to later though, I can get to her. I really want to keep Smash 2 in case that 3-drop Ursula comes down. We can get rid of it before it gets a chance to sing any songs. Instead, the evasive Tinkerbell comes down, and that could be a problem for us as well. We do draw into a Long Came Zeus, and we have a 5-cost Robin Hood on board, which means we can go ahead and smash the Tinkerbell. Then we can go ahead Robin Hood and Kida quest, take an early 8-1 lead. Our opponent has 5 cards in hand. Like I said, we are a little behind there. He inks a Tink and plays a Flynn. He does go friends on the other side. And here, once again, we're just putting bodies on board. So we come down with the Kida. We can still shift Kida, and we have a Long Came Zeus. He inks another Tinkerbell, plays the Rabbit, then plays another Flynn. Questing with Flynn, we got into a Stitch Rockstar. We're going to get rid of that. Quest, and then here I was debating so strongly. I'm like, do I do it? And then we go to 16, and he needs to get rid of Bodyguard and Robin Hood. I'm like, he doesn't have enough on board to do it, but at the same time, I'm going to play it a little safer instead. I'm in a pretty good spot with a pretty healthy lead. We go 15-3 anyway, and then we do that just because if he doesn't clear our board, or if he thinks he doesn't have to yet, he thinks he has another turn, things like that. We do have game we're threatening lethal already. He just doesn't know it because we shift into Kida, and that gives us our 5. So he's going to quest, get up to 8, put the merfolk down, and he actually has 8 now himself. So if, let's say, we quest here, we get to 19. Could he deal with our board anyway? Well, 2 into Robin Hood would take him out. Then he could go 2 into Kida. I guess 2 into Kida, 1 into Kida, 2 into Robin Hood, 1 into Kida. He would still be 1 short. And that's assuming I don't put another character on board. However, he could have something like a Mim Fox in hand. However, here we just, like I said, shift the Kida and we win. Going on into game 2 against the same opponent, we have, going second, obviously, double smash, along came Zeus, Kida, Wendy, Robin Hood, and grab your swords. I really, really like smash in this matchup, like I said, so we're going to hold on to those and keep our Robin Hood, or hold on to one of those, I should say, and see what we can't hit. We hit the Stitch package, Bodyguard Kida, our Bare Necessities, and our Big Kida, so not a bad hand. We have our turn 1 in Stitch, and then we can go Kida turn 2 and play it out from there. If he came down with an Ursula, we could sing Bare Necessities to hit the friends on the other side. So we go for our Stitch, turn 1, like I said, Cursed Merfolk, to no surprise, came down. Once again, Ursula comes down and hits the song in our hand. Just unfortunate that we're playing 4 songs, and he hits it. Or wait, sorry, wrong deck. We are playing more than 4 songs in here. He hits the Grab Your Swords instead, which is a very strong hit and card for him. I don't know why I was thinking 4 songs may have been a different deck or build, but we definitely have more than that. We have Along Came Zeus, we have Grab Your Swords, in addition to others. So Merfolk, go ahead. Ursula, go ahead. Now, we are in Shift Kida territory. We do have Smash as well. We also have the Bare Necessities. However, our decision is made easy when Fox comes down and takes out our Kida. So we ink a Bare Necessities. Debate on what we want to do here. We play Bare Necessities, see his hand. So Merfolk, Befuddle, Mother Knows Best. With that knowledge, I'm just going to pass turn. So Merfolk, Befuddle, Mother Knows Best. The Mother Knows Best comes down. So Merfolk and Befuddle are in his hand. He plays Strike a Good Match, and he discards a Befuddle. So now we know he has, and that came from this side of his hand too, so this one should still be Befuddle. Merfolk comes down, and he should have a Befuddle in his hand. This is the knowledge we were going off of. With 3 ink, we go Stitch and Simba, pass turn. I'm not in a horrible spot yet, and like we said, he did have that Befuddle, so it comes down. He then quests, goes up to 9-1, inks, and now we have 2 smash. That's pretty big for us, so we get rid of the Fox, and we go into Ursula for 1/2 of it. At this point, I don't want Kida, so we're going to go for the Stitch play. Let him get rid of Kida, play Stitch, and we can shift next turn. He's going to quest for 3 more, though, and put another Merfolk down, which can make this a little awkward. So we go into Stitch Rockstar, we take out the Ursula, we take out the Merfolk, get rid of the Simba. I don't necessarily care about it at this point. We are down 12-1, Rabbit comes down, draws him a card, and he inks it immediately. So with 1 more card in hand, we can go ahead, draw, and we draw into Along Came Zeus. Now we can get rid of that other Merfolk before it gains him too much lore. 12-5. Cusco comes down. That ward is going to be tricky. So we draw into Kida. He has the Rabbit. We got to play smart here because Cusco we cannot use Along Came Zeus on. So just kind of going over all of our plays, what can we do? He's going to win before, we can't just try to straight up quest against him despite having the Kida and the Stitch. We are going to do it for 1 turn though. We go to 11, sorry. Merfolk comes down, and then he has the Rabbit and quest. He's up to 17. We draw our Rockstar Stitch, and now it's decision time. What do we want to do? How do we want to do it? Cusco's going to take out whatever takes him out. So we're going to go Kida into Cusco. And then we're going to go Simba into Cusco, sacrificing our Bodyguard because it's the least important card we have. We can then hard cast the Along Came Zeus, take out the Cursed Merfolk, and quest for 3. Ink our other Stitch just to keep our 5 costs live right away. Could have waited a turn, I suppose. It doesn't really matter. He plays the Pascal and then inks a Befuddle because it is useless. We draw into a Smash. So here we're in an interesting spot because we cannot win. We can go to 19 and he's threatening lethal. He's also playing things like Merlin Goat. So you don't want him to get to 19 either. Debating how we want to do this. So I'm like, he's going to get the extra card. He'll have 2 cards. Why would I not want him to have 2 cards? If I take out his board and he has 2 cards, Genie wins him the game. So if I don't do that, if I say quest, smash out Pascal to not give him that draw, well, then Goat wins him the game. Otherwise, Genie would still win him the game. Yzma also, if they're playing it, it's a little less common, would win him the game. Something like Mother Knows Best would win him the game. So instead, we try to curb it. If he has something to bounce our Stitch off the board and is able to put a character on board, we would lose that game. However, we sat there for 4 minutes, he didn't do anything, so I just left the game. It was not worth any more of my time. I'm assuming he didn't have an out to my board. So we got the 2-0 win in that one. Now we have a color mirror match at least. But again, there's multiple ways to play this color combination, whether it is Steel Song, Bodyguards, or other things. So we're going first. We have Bare Necessities, Robin Hood, Prince, Lilo, Stitch, Bare Necessities, and Baboom. Going first, I want to worry about singers. We have Stitch, so we have kind of what we need, but not necessarily what we need. I like to keep Robin Hood anytime I see him, and then I'll just ink him if I have to, keeping Bare Necessities for his songs. We do hit another bear, another Baboom, then Robin Hood and Wendy. So we do actually hit our Robin Hood, so we can get rid of the Stitch, play the Robin Hood, and see what our opponent does. He gets rid of a Kida and comes down with a Simba. Simba discarding card. Now we draw into Lilo. We get rid of a Bare Necessities and come down with a Wendy. Quest for 1. Wait and see what our opponent does. So Pride Lands comes down. Before I just do anything, I was thinking this through a bunch. I'm like, well, I'm going to use Bare Necessities, see this hand. So Little Stitch, Big Stitch, and I actually forgot what the other one was just now. Obviously, we hit the Pride Lands, so Pluto. So Stitch, 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 Pluto. That's not a very threatening hand, especially when, like, we have pretty much what we need. I was having a bunch of issues, by the way. It kept disconnecting. I don't know if it was Pixelborn, my computer, what. But we're going to try and take out that the Pride Lands before it becomes an issue with that +2 will. So we see a Stitch go away, another Stitch come down. We know he has Rockstar, and there's the Pluto. So there's one unknown card in his hand. He's 1 turn away from Rockstar Stitch as well, so we're going to Baboom the Stitch, lose connection, reconnect, take out the Pride Lands. So again, Rockstar Stitch in hand, and we can still put Lilo down, ink our Robin Hood. So if he inks a card, exerts the Pluto, he can play the Rockstar Stitch. Is that enough for him? I don't think it is. Instead he passes, or sorry, cannot yet. He needs to do that next turn because Stitch is a 6 cost. So we quest a bunch, play our Bodyguard, lose connection, reconnect, he inks Captain Hook, exert Pluto when he has enough now, and then plays the Rockstar Stitch. We can go ahead and challenge over Pluto, still gaining our 2 lore, quest, up to 14, and play our Wendy. The only way he can win this now is if he takes out our Bodyguard, takes out Wendy, and takes out Lilo. Otherwise, he just loses. Stitch can take out the Bodyguard, Simba could take out the Lilo, but we still have enough on board, so he would need something in addition. That could range from, I guess if he had Grab Your Swords would work because it'd get rid of Lilo. Stitch, or Simba then could take out Stitch, or sorry, Simba into Simba, Stitch into Wendy, so he only takes the 1. However, being down 14 to 1 is just going to be very, very hard for him to do anything. So we're going to sit here and think. Lilo comes down, we get to draw a card because the Stitch. We ink there, and then we go ahead, play Queen, and we once again draw because of the Stitch. He plays the Simba, but he played it exerted, so Stitch could not exert him. Big thing here, especially on Pixelborn, you want to play him ready, exert him with Stitch, draw a card. However, if he did it properly, there isn't any card that's going to win him the game. He only has the 2 ink left, and nothing is going to help him. So let's go on into the deck profile. Move me over here out of our way. You can see our cost curve is pretty heavy on the 1s and the 2s. We are playing 16 of each of them. We then have 8 3 costs, 18 2 costs, 16 1s, like we said. 3 costs are at 8, so 8 3 costs, said that backwards. 2 4s, 10 5s, and then we finish it off with 6 6s. I apologize for that. It's been a very long day, and I am starting to get a little bit tired, but getting closer. Uninkable cards. We are playing only 8 uninkable cards, so you'll have a ton of playable hands. This is actually a deck that I built for my son so that he can play. He likes being aggro, and I thought this deck, while maybe not being the best, can teach him a lot about Lorcana. It can teach him the things of aggro, and also holding back and not necessarily going all in. It can teach him with shifting and dealing with your opponent's boards because of our action cards, and also singing cards and the value they give you. It has bodyguards, it has resist, again it has shift. There are so many things that this particular list does. I think it's a fantastic deck for anyone trying to learn and get used to the game. Is it the best? Absolutely not. Does it have almost a little bit of everything? Yeah, it actually does. So 4 Kida, 4 Lilo, 4 Stitch, 4 Robin Hood. If you see the price cost here and you're like, I just can't swing that, I get it. Take out the Robin Hood package and that total gets cut in half. Then you have 2 Simba, 4 Wendy, 4 Kida, 4 Prince. Initially, I don't know why, I just like, okay, I got 4 Simba, we'll just pick up 2 Kidas, and then I'm like, we're playing Shift Kida. Let's go ahead with 4. Why not? I debated dropping this one down to 2. I just didn't find a suitable replacement that I felt was worth it. Before we had the Robin Hood package, you could also swap this out for something like Cinderella. You could play the singer Cinderella, because you do have a couple songs for her, or you could play the 2-cost Cinderella to be able to gain that draw and discard. And then instead of the big Robin Hood, you could play Cinderella Stout-Hearted. Moving on to our bigger characters, we have 4 Kida. This card is just crazy. I can't say enough how much she does. Then you have your Rockstar Stitch and 2 Tinkerbell Giant Fairies. Again, if you look at the price of the deck, you could easily cut out Tinkerbell. She's more of a late game card where if you see her early, you ink her all the time. This is if you're not winning early, if stuff's not going right, if you're going against a deck that went really wide, there's utility here. Otherwise, you just simply ink her. But if you get to the point where you're getting Be Prepared, board wiped, you're in a top deck late game, this is a very good card to have. Again though, $140 just by cutting these 2 cards would come off the top. Kida, she's pretty important. I can't say that it's easy to cut her. However, if you really needed to, you could go down to 3, maybe 2, and play some things like Baloo, the 3-cost bodyguard, or even Hercules package as another bodyguard with shift ability. Our action cards, we are playing 4 Baboom and 4 Smash. Not only are they each inkable, dealing damage to your opponent always feels good. And then 8 songs, 4 bare necessities to be able to see your opponent's hand, which is the most important part in this deck particularly. Yes, it is great to be able to hit a location, an item, or a song and get rid of it. However, for me, gaining that hand knowledge and knowing how to play my hand out afterwards is far more important. Along Came Zeus has just been putting in work, and I cannot say how good this card is. Grab Your Swords, also very, very strong. I saw it twice where it was in my hand, both copies. That, however, is a little less fortunate. However, hopefully you guys liked the deck, liked the video. Comment on the video down below. Hit that subscribe button. It helps a lot. We're going to continue doing a bunch, bringing new things to you guys. So thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.